Insta-Scare, a short, scary story, written by Stories from the Attic, narrated by Robin McConnell. My mum had this party in Hawaii, and it was so amazing. Did you see my posts on Insta? Layla heard Joanne say as she walked through the hallways. I definitely saw, and I was screaming at the top of my lungs because those pictures were cute, Esther replied. Did you check out Grace's page? She replied. They visited Venice Beach. They? Who is they? Esther raised an eyebrow. You can't mean... Who else? She and Jason. There was this picture where she had just a bikini on and Jason's packs were fire. Sometimes I wish Mac was more masculine. Joanne said right before she slammed her locker door and walked towards chemistry class. Can't these people go a day without talking about their silly pictures? Layla said under her breath with her hands clutching her backpack. As she walked through the hallway, her locker seemed farther away with every step closer. Slowly, the walls began to close in, and the ground opened. Layla could see nothing but black, the purple paint now cold, black, the tiles the same, the people in the hall morphed into obsidian gooey aliens, and the entire hallway spiraled in circles. Layla! Stacy screamed, and Layla jittered out of her imagination. Yeah, what's up? What's up? What's up is me trying to get your attention for the past hour. Stacy, we've not even been in school for an hour, Layla replied. Well, it's been 30 seconds, but it feels like an hour because you got me screaming. I'm sorry? So, I'm used to dark outfit Layla, but this dark conversation Layla has to be a new upgrade, Stacy said regarding Layla's disinterest. My choice of outfit is my problem, Stacy, Layla replied. Yeah, I know, that's why you wear black every day of every year and your Instagram looks like darkness mixed with grief and a hint of depression. Can we just get to chemistry class? Layla diverted. Yes, ma'am. The closing bell sounded, and as Layla walked over to her mum's car, she had a hunch that she was going to get scolded. Hey, Mum, she said, right before she got into the car. Hey, baby, how was school? Tracy asked. Same old, Mom. Okay, Layla, we need to talk about this. Oh boy, here we go again, Layla scoffed. I really need you to tell me what's wrong. Mom! No, honey, I'm worried. We need to talk about this. I notice the stares when we visit the mall, or even take walks around the park. Your teachers complain of your social skills, and, Layla, baby, you have no coloured clothes. Not even one. Since when did having a favourite colour become a world issue? Layla asked and looked away from the window. Layla, you own only black clothes, and it is a problem. My favourite colour is purple, but you don't see my entire wardrobe filled with only purple clothes. So big a problem that you took your daughter to a therapist. Yeah, Parent of the Year award goes to you, all right. Her mom slammed on the brakes then, unconcerned about the traffic. Can you blame me? Layla, can you blame me? You have a room full of creepy posters with writings like, You're alone in this world. Your life is dark and empty and without love. Family means nothing. And you expect me not to worry? You've never been affectionate. You've never had a crush. And of course, you're a blonde with black hair. It's called dye, Mother. It's called strange, Tracy replied, putting her foot down on the gas again. Anyways, Stacy wants to come over, and I know you're working a night shift, so I was wondering, is it okay if she does? Layla didn't bother to face her mom, and continued to stare out of the window. Of course she can. How do I say no to the only friend my teenage daughter has? A yes would have sufficed. And a crush is all I'm asking, Layla, or at least an Instagram page with cute pictures and not dark, hollow pictures. Mom, my social media is my private space. You shouldn't be snooping. The disappointment harsh in her words, the last words before they pulled up on their drive. The second Tracy turned off the ignition, Layla raced through the living room, up the stairs and into her bedroom. She threw her backpack on the floor of her room, slammed the door, then hurried over to her closet. She took out a pair of sweatpants, a tank top, and she sat by her desk to record yet another horrible school experience in her diary. As Layla had her pen to paper, her phone chimed. Jason Moore just posted a video. Why do you do this to yourself, Layla? Post notifications for a guy who is never going to look at you. She opened her Instagram to play the video.
Yo guys, it's your boy Jason Moore, and I'm here with my friend Grace,
Jason said, and rolled his eyes at the end as if he was waiting for what Grace had to say.
Friend? Sorry to bust y'all single Pringles bubbles, but I'm his girlfriend. He seemed to have omitted the girl in the front.
Grace replied.
I love you, baby. I love you too,
she replied.
So guys, it's the beginning of a new school year, and guess what?
Said Jason.
We're seniors!
Jason and Grace screamed in a synchronized manner. Layla could take no more, so she stopped the video from playing any further. It was barely a minute, and he had over 1,000 views and a little above 500 likes. Layla could tell from his location that he was in his father's private beach in Manhattan. Aside from Grace and Jason's absence in all their classes today, this was the information she needed to seal her hunch. Layla took a little nap in her room of death, and she woke up to 10 missed calls from Stacy. Just as she was about to return them, Stacy rang Layla again. Did somebody die? Layla asked as she answered the call.
Yes, your personality.
I'm laughing so hard I'm peeing my pants, Layla said with a bland expression.
I just wanted to, let you know that, you remember our study date? Well, it's a party now.
What? Girl, a party? Why? For who? And most importantly, where? Layla jumped off her desk.
Well, why? Because why not? Everyone in our class is invited, and, well, it's happening at your house.
No, Stacy, no.
It's only going to...
No!
Last an hour.
No!
Layla, come on, you should...
No, she interrupted again.
Would you at least hear me out?
With a sigh, she said, Fine.
Thank you. You should think about it, Layla. Even though it's too late to reconsider. The drinks and the music, snacks and invitations, they've all been sent out.
Stace, why would you do this?
Because Jason promised to come.
How can he? He's in Manhattan.
No, he's not. Where did you hear that from?
He posted a video today and his location read Manhattan.
But he's in town?
So he lied about his location, Layla scoffed.
Or the video may just be old. Anyways, get ready, 'cause the party starts in an hour.
Why are you doing this to me?
One last thing. Don't wear black.
You know that's not possible.
I was hoping it would be.
A party? A party with Jason Moore in her house? What was she going to do? Why did Stacy have to pull this on her? It was too late to change what happened, so the best she could do was make sure she looked good enough to be noticed. She scanned through her wardrobe, and for the first time ever, Layla did wish she had clothes that were not black or made of leather. She scavenged her clothes, and she found a fit she was comfortable with. It was a knee-high boot, short leather skirt, and a black bralette. She pulled out a net pop sock, and she washed out her black dye, revealing her blonde hair. The last touch was makeup, and instead of her gothic look, she looked more like a character in a fairy tale movie. Time flew so fast as Layla prepared for the party that she didn't realize it was an hour past. Layla, I'm on my way to the hospital. There are leftovers in the microwave. Finish up your schoolwork and please clear those dishes, Tracy said after a subtle knock on Layla's door. Okay, Mom. You can close my door now. I know that wasn't for me, she replied. I'm sorry, I meant to say I completely understand and I'll get right on it the second you leave. Nice save and nice try. Get up, Layla, and let me see your behind as you walk to the kitchen. Yes, Mum. Hold on. Am I hallucinating or is your hair blonde again? I just wanted to try something different. Is that makeup? You know what? Don't even answer that. If I wasn't certain Stacy was your only friend, I would be worried. Layla grabbed her headphones and grudgingly walked into the kitchen. The second she wiped the last plate, the doorbell rang. Her heart skipped a beat. The startle sent her phone right into the sink with water filled with soap lather. "Oh shit!" Layla winced as she brought her phone out of the sink. No, 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 no! What was that? Nothing, Mum. I thought you'd left. Yeah, my ride just got here. She reached for her coat. Have fun with Stacy, honey. Bye, Mum. Come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, please turn on, Layla screamed, tapping her phone. Layla! Holy shit! Where? Huh? I can't even see you. Where are you? I'm outside! Open the door! Of course you are. Open the door, girl! The party just began! Stacy screamed as she walked in with speakers and a crowd of horny teenagers. You do know my mum literally just walked out that door, right? What if she saw? Layla panicked. Relax! We waited for her to leave the driveway. Where's your phone? We need to take a selfie. I dropped it in the sink by accident. Oh, Layla. Let's use mine because you look too hot not to be captured. The pictures came out amazing. So amazing that Layla logged into her Instagram page with Stacy's phone. She captioned it, In My Feelings, and the location Layla thought best was Home with the Monsters. The party was off to a good start, but Layla wasn't having any fun. She kept staring at her phone all night, hoping it would come on, but with every minute that passed, she lost more hope. Attention everybody! Senior year is ours, and what better way to start off than a crazy party? Stacy screamed into the microphone in her hand. Her screams seemed to echo and return from the crowd. Hey, have you seen Stacy? Living room. Damn, Layla. Never knew you were this hot, and this party is off the roof. Yeah, thanks. She tucked her phone into her back pocket, and as she walked into her living room, she knew exactly why she wasn't having fun. Forgetting her phone, the lights were too bright, and the music was too loud. Stace! Layla called out to her friend, who was with the DJ. Hey, boo, what's good? You need to shut down this party, Layla said this time, a lot closer to Stacy. Why? Well, because Jason isn't even here. You mean Jason Moore? A masculine voice asked. Yes, and... Hold on. Stace, did that answer come from you? Nope. So if you didn't say it, then it means... Layla said as she turned around and saw Jason smile back at her. Hey, Layla, Jason replied. Oh my God, Layla shrieked and stumbled into the pack of wires lying on the ground. Her phone fell out of her back pocket and into the coiled wires. Layla's foot unplugged the wires from the socket, killing the music, and her left hand sent the cup of punch in Stacy's hands crashing into the jumbled wires. The only thing left to get to the ground was Layla, because she tripped from turning around to see Jason, but he broke her fall with his hands. All of these things happened with the DJ, Jason, Layla, and Stacy witnessing the electrical sparks from the wire and the mini explosion. Damn, are you okay? Jason asked. Yeah, I'm good. Just when I was starting to enjoy the party, Jason teased. Well, I don't know, my phone, Layla stuttered. Huh? You lost me at, well, he replied. My phone, I dropped my phone. I never knew you were blonde, Layla. What? Just help me check the floor of my phone, please. You too, Stace. Of course, Jason replied as he went to his knees. You know, it's funny, 'cause by now I would expect an angry mob, but... Oh, okay, spoke too soon, Stacy retracted. The stares, the murmurs, and the obvious displeasure that followed the stop of the music was worse than extra assignments and surprise tests. There was nothing anybody could do to revive the vibe, so the party was officially over. The entire room was deserted in the blink of an eye. Found it! Stacy screamed and simultaneously raised Layla's phone into the air. Don't touch it. It should be hot, Layla tried to warn. You should maybe have said that a little sooner, Stace replied right after the screams that sent Layla's phone crashing on the ground. Stace, just give it, Layla replied. Give it? Nah, there's no way I'm touching that thing. Oh, fine. I'll get it myself. Here, I'll help you. Jason gestured and he picked up the phone as though it was nothing. Thank you, but if I'm being very honest, I am officially getting a new phone. Absolutely, Stacy replied. Definitely, Jason added in unison. I just need your help with one last thing, Layla replied. Of course, he said. Help me dump it in the trash, she sternly said, and Stacy and Jason could not help but laugh hysterically at how aggressively the statement was made. It was a night to remember. Layla had to clean up, but she got help from Stacy. The only problem Layla had was how she was going to explain to Tracy the reason she was now phoneless. It was the middle of the night, and Layla woke up to find the phone she had dropped in the kitchen trash can lying comfortably on her room desk. What the hell? Layla said as she creeped out of bed and walked towards the desk. The screen kept flashing and repeatedly showed one of the pictures from Layla's Instagram page. This has to be a crazy dream, Layla said as she tiptoed closer to the desk. The image kept flashing, and it was a picture from spring break last year. Layla had a black gown on, and her location read 6 feet under. What the hell? Layla said as the image kept flashing. As she moved closer to the phone, she tripped on her old crooked rocking chair, and the screams Layla made were louder than the sound it gave off. But her picture kept flashing, and the memories from the day she took from that picture were ones that scared her. Okay, this has got to stop, Layla said as she got up, reached the phone, and dumped it into the trash can by her bedside. Creepy, she said, rolling her eyes and getting back into bed with the hope that she would wake up and realize it was all a dream. Layla went to sleep, and by morning she was certain it had been a dream. She scanned her entire room to ascertain that it was a dream, and the singular fact that her phone was not in the bin in her room, she had all the assurance she needed. Hey, Mum, didn't know you would come home so early, Layla said as she walked down the stairs. Are you forgetting something? Right. Good morning, Mum. How was work? It was fine. Do you mind explaining why your phone was on the kitchen counter when I got back? I can explain, but I'm not sure you're going to believe me. Layla, what are you saying? I'm just wondering why you were without your phone. I know you are a very strange teenager, but not even you are strange enough to be without their phone. Huh? Layla, are you okay? Yeah, I'm fine. You mean you're not mad at me? Mad? Why should I be? Just take better care of your stuff, especially the ones that are expensive. That's all I'm asking. It could have been stolen. Did you see the phone? Like you actually saw it? Layla, I need to get some rest. Take your phone off the counter and please be ready in time for the school bus, Tracy said as she grabbed her cup of coffee and headed for the stairs. Okay, my mother has to be delusional because... What the hell? Layla's gaze fell on her phone. There were no scratches or burns on it. It was exactly the way it was before she dropped it into the sink. Okay, this can't be possible. How did this happen? How is this even possible? Layla muttered. The moment she unlocked the phone, Layla saw the same image flashing on her screen repeatedly. It was the day of her dad's funeral, and Layla could not but put her location as 6 feet under. How does this even happen? Turn off, turn off, turn off! Layla continued trying to stop the creepy image, but the harder she tried, the clearer it became. It was the start of the day, but it was Layla's nightmare come true. There was a blackout in the entire street. The PJs she had on when she walked down the stairs were gone, and the gown she wore in the image was now on her body. Fear began to ripen inside Layla. She hoped that her mother would come running down the stairs screaming her name, but she wasn't in luck because Tracy was wiped out. Layla's picture from her dad's funeral was still the only visible image and the only source of light in her house. It's broad daylight. Why isn't it bright outside? Layla asked as she walked outside her house. Layla! The disturbed voice screamed out loud. What the? Layla could only say before she started screaming back into her house. Layla! You're going 6 feet under! The voices continued, increasing in volume. The voices sounded ever closer, and Layla's hands began to shake. She attempted to close the front door, but the owners of the voices hastened after her. Layla could only get a glimpse of them, but she vividly remembered seeing them at her dad's burial. Wake up, Layla, Layla told herself. Layla, come out, pumpkin. It's your time to go 6 feet under. They doubled from the last time they spoke, and it was like an army of zombies and hypnotized humans were speaking. They closed in on Layla, and the door she was proud of closing fell like a pack of cards. Layla, where are you? They continued, and rummaged every corner of the house. Layla ran up the stairs and headed straight for Tracy's room. Mum, wake up! Wake up! She screamed. Layla, what is it? Wake up, Mum, there's a blackout and there are weird creatures chanting my name and running after me downstairs, Layla said with a panic-filled voice. Huh? Tracy asked, removing her sleep mask. Did you just hear a word I said? Yes, and I'm disappointed that you would make up such a ridiculous story to avoid going to school. Ridiculous? Mother, it's the truth. A blackout? Yeah, right. Layla, turn around. Every house in this hours, and even if they didn't, it's morning. The sun would make a good enough source of light, Tracy said, and fell back on her bed. But Mum, I swear there were... Go get ready for school, Layla. Tracy slipped her sleep mask back on and continued her nap. Layla knew what she had just felt was too real to be a figment of her imagination. She carefully went back down the stairs because she was certain that whatever had come after her the first time was still there. The more she progressed, the more the silence in the house grew. It was really gone, and now there was no way she was going to explain to anyone how the picture changed her clothes, and a mob of strange weirdos chased her to the point where she peed her pants. The strangest thing happened this morning, Layla said, slamming her locker door. Jason called you? Stacy asked with bulging eyes. Calm down, Cupid. I wish, she replied as they walked down a hallway. Okay, this is going to sound really crazy, but there was a blackout and a mob of strange people chanting my name. You remember the dress I wore for my dad's funeral? Yeah? The picture I took on that day, the one I posted on my Instagram page. It was just there. It kept on flashing until I had the dress on me. What are you talking about? Remember my phone from yesterday? Yeah? Did you get in trouble for it? Look, it's like it never happened. Layla brought out her phone from her backpack. Holy shit! Stacy's books crashed to the floor. Damn, this is crazy! One more thing. My hair is black again. I washed out the dye yesterday, remember? Okay, but it is impossible for me to have had enough time to buy the dye my hair, and get enough sleep for school, so no, I didn't do this myself. Layla clutched the phone in her hands. No, 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 Layla screamed, with tears rolling down her cheek as the blackout happened again. Stacy was gone. It was like she'd disappeared. On the phone was a different picture this time. It was one from Layla's pool party with Stacy. They were wearing bikinis, and the location of the picture was underwater. In a split second, the entire school was flooded. Layla ran through different classrooms and hallways to find the source of the flooding, but before she could get to the third room, the water was as high as her waist. She was resilient enough to keep on going, but without moving an inch, the water level was at Layla's shoulders. Stacy! 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 Layla mumbled with water in her mouth, and by now the entire school was completely flooded. It was bad enough that there was water in every part of the school, but with the sharks and the crocodiles almost triple the number of students, it was a recipe for disaster. And it took no time for the disaster to begin. The sharks feasted on screaming youths, tearing them apart limb from limb. The crocodiles cracked and snapped bones of human beings like they were sticks of a broom. In less than a minute, the sharks and crocodiles had eaten enough to turn the water blood red. Layla! Layla! Stacy screamed underwater. I'm right here, Layla responded. They both swam towards each other, and their hands were just about to meet before the water spiraled and began to drain out with everything in it. What's happening? Layla shouted. The water from the flood went right out the drain, and with it pieces of undigested bones. Layla was unconscious. Her body lay stiff, and when her eyes opened, she thought she was blind. She could see nothing but darkness. She tried to move her hands, but she couldn't. She tried her legs, but they were also confined. It was beginning to feel like she was locked in a box. She banged it repeatedly, but it wouldn't budge. It was the sounds from around her that made Layla realize where she was. "Welcome back, Layla. We told you we were going to take you 6 feet under." The same creepy voices sounded. Layla could scream no more. She watched as little insects and bugs, bullet ants and scorpion flies crawled all over her body and into her nose and ears in a shut, tight coffin. She looked around for anything to escape with, but she could see absolutely nothing. Layla reached for her phone to dial Stacy, but as she successfully pulled it out of her back pocket, it fell on the deck of the coffin. The third image began to flicker. It was a picture from an alien con Layla was forced to attend because of Stacy's little brother, and it was one of the numerous worst days she had had. It didn't occur to Layla at the time, but now it hit her. "No, no, no, please, no," Layla screamed the second she realized the location she'd tagged her picture. It was too late to plead, as the coffin Layla was in rolled out of place and down a hill till her body came flying out. She opened her eyes and she was in Monster Town, just like the location on her picture. Layla got off the floor and dusted her black jeans, the same ones she had on in the picture. As she turned around, the first thing her eyes met was a 3-headed figure with 8 legs and a crappy wing. She was initially more disgusted than scared until she saw one of its heads shoot out fire, another one breathe ice, and the last one a hailstorm. Layla ran as fast as she could. She tripped and slid off different pathways. She ran aimlessly around in circles, and whenever she stopped, she saw the creature reach out for her head. Layla tried to think of a way to outsmart it, but before she was even done thinking, there were 1,000 of the creatures. It had duplicated all around her, and she was wishing she was still in the coffin. Her phone chimed again, and from the outfit she had on, Layla knew her next location. Home with the Monsters was the last location Layla had posted. It was the party Stacy had organized, and she had blonde hair, a black bralette, leather skirt, and knee-high boots. Just like Stacy vanished from the hallway, Layla was at home with the monsters she ran away from, except this time there were others. There was one with the head of a lion and the body of a snake. There was another that looked like the combination of a dinosaur and a giraffe. It was bizarre, and Layla had to turn away from them. But the moment she took a step on the stairs, the creepy creatures picked her up and ripped her apart like a piece of clothing. A scream. Layla finally woke up. She hurriedly ran her hands through her hair. She got up from bed and was relieved when she saw she still had blonde hair. She hurried down to the kitchen, and the fact that her phone still sat in the kitchen trash was all the reality check she needed. This had to be the worst nightmare ever, but the party was worth it. Jason had taken her number, and she hoped that in no time they were going to kick things off. Maybe he'd take her to Manhattan. This has been Insta Scare, a short, scary story, written by Stories from the Attic, narrated by Robin McConnell. Copyright 2020 by Michael van der Voort. Production copyright by Michael van der Voort.